The lipstick smeared on my cheek was a bold, burning red. The kind that didn't just color skin, but seemed to stain something deeper. It wasn't makeup anymore. It was a message, a warning, a symbol of something much darker than a night out gone too long. Liliana, my wife of 10 years, stumbled to the front door in the dim early morning light. She reeked of cheap tequila, and there was another scent clinging to her clothes, sweet, floral, foreign, not her usual fragrance, not something I'd ever smelled on her before. It set off something uneasy in me, like the rest of her lately. She wobbled as she kicked off her heels and then lifted her head. Her eyes were foggy, her words slow. "Sorry I'm late, babe," she mumbled, swaying forward to press a sloppy kiss to my cheek. The lipstick transferred instantly, carelessly. "Girls' night ran a little long," she added with a lazy giggle. That sound, her giggle, used to be one of the things I loved most about her. It would lift the weight off a heavy day, make me feel lucky just be near her. But now it felt forced, off-key, like it belonged to someone else. The signs had been there for a while. I'd seen them, ignored them, tried to explain them away. Missed calls, quick glances at her phone, before turning her back to answer. A sudden obsession with her appearance. New clothes, fresh hairstyles, lingerie she hadn't worn in years. She told me it was about self-love, reclaiming confidence. I wanted to believe her, but something felt off. Her touch lacked warmth. Her smiles came too quickly. Her eyes would dart away when I asked simple questions. The answers were always smooth, a little too smooth, like they'd been rehearsed. Still, I clung to hope, told myself every marriage had its rough patches, that I was just being paranoid, that if I kept showing up, kept loving her, we'd find our way back to the people we used to be. But that night changed everything. She passed out on the bed minutes after coming home, her makeup smeared across the pillowcase. I sat next to her, staring at her sleeping face in the dim light. The room was silent except for the soft buzz of her phone vibrating on the nightstand. A new message. I hesitated. I'd never violated her privacy before, but trust was a currency, and ours was nearly bankrupt. The timing of that text was a final crack in an already splintered foundation. The screen lit up with a message from a contact saved as Spa Day. Tonight was amazing. Miss you already. X. Spa Day. That's what she said she did last week, too. My chest tightened as I unlocked the phone, hands shaking. What I found was worse than I had imagined. The conversation thread went back weeks, maybe months. The messages were filled with emotion, passion, secrets. They spoke of hotel rooms, back seats, longing and laughter. This wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a moment of weakness. It was a full-blown affair, built on intimacy and intention. And then I saw the saved voicemails. The first was from a man, smooth, self-assured. "Hey, beautiful. Just thinking about you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow." My stomach turned. The second message was from her, Liliana, but not the woman I knew. Her voice was light, almost girlish. She sounded breathless, alive. "Oh, Daniel, I can't stop thinking about you either. Being with you, it's everything. Daniel." The name lodged itself in my mind like shrapnel. I sat there in silence, the glow of the phone casting shadows across my face. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just sat there, numb, memories of our life together, birthdays, vacations, Sunday mornings, flashed like scenes from someone else's story. By the time the sun rose, I had made up my mind. When she woke, eyes puffy and confused, I was already up. I handed her a mug of coffee and sat across from her, calm despite the hurricane inside me. So I said gently, "How was your night out with the girls?" She blinked, forced a smile. "It was fun." I nodded, my face neutral. But I knew everything, and there was no going back. "A little too much tequila, I think," she said, trying to laugh it off. "Sure," I replied, my voice flat, laced with something sharper beneath the surface. Then I asked, "Did you go to the spa too?" She stiffened just for a second. Her hand trembled as she lifted her coffee mug, spilling a little onto the table. What are you talking about?" she asked, her voice unsteady. Without saying a word, I reached into my pocket, pulled out her phone, and played the second voicemail. Her voice filled the room. Not the casual tone I knew, but something breathless, intimate. A confession not meant for me. Her face went pale. Her breath caught. Panic flashed in her eyes. She didn't speak. She couldn't. The truth was there, plain between us. Undeniable. "Who is Daniel?" I asked, low and even, each word deliberate. Her mouth open, closed, then open again, like she was trying to find the right words and kept missing them. Finally, she stammered, I can explain. So explain. My voice cracked. The pain I kept buried broke the surface. Explain how you lied to me over and over. How you looked me in the eye every day while you were with someone else. In the days that followed, the truth unraveled like a fraying thread. She'd met him at a conference. He was a colleague. It started with casual flirting and turned into something else. She called it a mistake, a weak moment, said it didn't mean anything, just physical, just temporary. But the messages told a different story. They were full of feeling. The voicemails were personal. She hadn't just strayed. She had built another relationship, hidden behind my back, while pretending everything between us was still real. I couldn't take it. I couldn't even look at her without feeling sick. The trust was shattered beyond repair. But I wasn't done. I needed him, Daniel, to understand what he'd done. I needed him to feel something close to what I felt. It didn't take long to find him. His social media painted a perfect life. A smiling wife, happy kids, corporate success, vacations under the sun. I figured out where he worked. One cold night, I waited outside his office. My breath came in white clouds. When he finally stepped out and saw me, he stopped. "You're Liliana's husband," he said, barely above a whisper. "That's right," I said. "We need to talk." I didn't yell. I didn't threaten. I told him everything. Showed him the messages. Played the voicemails. I watched the confidence drain from his face. He tried to blame her. Claimed she'd led him on. I stopped him with a single look. "You wrecked my marriage," I said. "Now I'm going to wreck yours." Then I walked away. It wasn't about revenge. It was about something deeper, balance, closure, truth. A few weeks later, everything fell apart. Liliana and I filed for divorce. She moved out. The house echoed with her absence. She cried, begged for another chance, but it was too late. Every time I saw her, I remembered the betrayal, the lies, the sound of her voice on that voicemail. And Daniel, his world burned too. His wife left him, took the kids. Word got around. His reputation took a hit. His carefully constructed life crumbled. But there were no winners. Just wreckage. I sold the house. Started fresh. Alone. The silence was heavy at first. The loneliness hit in waves. But I worked. Found old parts of myself I'd forgotten. Reached out to friends. Little by little, I came back to life. Years later, I saw her again, Liliana, sitting in a coffee shop. She looked older, tired. Her smile was faint. Her eyes distant. We talked, not about what happened, just about life. Time. Loss. She apologized again. This time her voice didn't shake. She meant it. I forgave her, not for her sake, for mine. I didn't want to carry it anymore. Forgiveness didn't mean forgetting. It didn't make it okay, but it gave me peace. The lipstick stain, the voicemails, the moment everything broke, they'd all faded. The hurt had dulled. The wounds had closed. The scars were still there, yes, but they were mine. Proof that I'd survived, that I'd healed, that I still knew how to feel, that I was still standing.